AudiobookHub recommendation. If you've ever loved a dog, this story hits like a promise you didn't know you made. A dog's promise isn't just about loyalty, it's about how a single animal can stitch a broken family back together across decades, tragedies, and even lifetimes. You'll get tenderness, grief, small everyday joys, and a final reveal that reframes everything Bailey has ever done. Love, it turns out, doesn't end when a heartbeat does. AudiobookHub 1, The Request in the Golden Place. In a place with no pain and endless love, Bailey, who has lived as Toby, Molly, Ellie, Max, Buddy, Bailey, rests at last. He is surrounded by everyone who ever loved him. Time feels soft and unmeasured, like sunlight on fur. Then Ethan, his boy from the earliest and deepest bond, appears with CJ, Ethan's child. Another human Bailey once guarded across a different life. Ethan speaks with the careful seriousness humans use when they're asking a dog to do the hardest thing. "We need you to go back." CJ adds the gentle reassurance that makes Bailey's tail want to wag even while dread prickles the air. "If you fail, it'll be okay. We'll love you." But Ethan's request comes with a cruel catch. Bailey won't remember. Not the farm, not Ethan, not CJ. He'll be sent back as an old soul, without the facts that make him wise. Ethan explains the only comfort. One day Bailey will recognize Ethan again, though Ethan won't look the same, and memory will slam back like a door opening. When that happens, Bailey will understand he's been an angel dog, part of a promise that still isn't finished. Bailey presses into Ethan and CJ, absorbing their love like warmth. Sadness in people is why there are dogs. And love is why Bailey says yes, even without words. The scene fades, leaving only the echo of a mission. Go back, find what matters, and fulfill the promise, even if you have to lose yourself to do it. AudiobookHub 2, Born in Metal, Saved by Hands. Bailey's new life begins in confusion and cold. He is a puppy in a harsh den, made of metal walls and floor, sheltered by a flapping tarp roof. His mother is thin, sick-smelling, and terrified of the outside world. The puppies learn early that the ledge at the opening is danger. One heavy-bodied brother, Heavy Boy, falls, goes silent, and returns only because mother drags him back by the scruff. Bailey decides safety means staying back. He is wrong. The world breaks in with human voices, heavy thuds, and a violent plan. Men arguing about the pups, a gun, the river, and nature will take care of them. Bailey can't fully understand the words, but he understands the shape of threat. Adult voices that mean harm. Before the worst can happen, another pair of humans intervenes. A gentle-voiced man and a bright, eager little girl, Ava, open the tarp. Mother flees, but the humans scoop the puppies into a basket. The pups are fed with bottles. Bailey discovers something that feels like destiny, even if he can't name it. Humans mean warmth, food, hands that soothe. Ava presses Bailey to her face, and his instinct to lick her is immediate, as if his soul recognizes her. Mother returns, drawn by her babies, and Ava and the man trap her safely inside. The family is reunited, and the mother dog begins to heal, finally eating and nursing without starvation. Ava names the puppy Bailey. His world again becomes people and purpose, just not yet the purpose Ethan sent him for. AudiobookHub 3. The farm, the wheelchair, the job Bailey's puppyhood becomes stability, until adoption day breaks the first big bond. Bailey falls in love with another puppy, Lacey, a boxer mix whose scent and energy feel like belonging. They play with total devotion. Bailey assumes they will be together always, then humans change everything. Lacey is claimed by another family. Bailey is chosen by a farming family in need of a big dog. His new people are Chase's dad, Chase Trevino, Grandma Rachel, and two brothers, Grant, the older teen full of frustration, and Burke, the younger boy in a wheelchair. Bailey is renamed Cooper. The new name sticks because the love sticks. Burke needs him. Burke teaches him commands and purpose. Open means pull the rope to open the fridge. Leave it means ignore temptation. Get it becomes retrieval. But the most important command is assist. Burke teaches Cooper to drag him to his wheelchair if Burke falls, and to pull the chair across difficult terrain. Cooper's identity hardens into meaning. He is not just loved, he is needed. Outside their farm, a different threat grows. Trident Mechanical Harvesting's drone robo-farmers replace human labor, swallowing livelihoods. Chase Dad hates them, and Cooper senses that hate by smell, posture, and the hard anger walk. One day the conflict turns physical. A neighbor attacks a drone with a tire iron. The drone malfunctions, charges onto the Trevino's driveway, and Cooper throws himself between the machine and Burke, biting tires and blocking the path. Chase Dad finally shoots the drone. The family survives, but the corporation responds with threats. Lawsuits, animal control, intimidation. Cooper passes the vicious dog inspection by doing the simplest, truest thing, rolling over for a belly rub. Still, the war between people and machines, between small family farms and corporate power, has begun, and it will shape everything Cooper tries to protect. AudiobookHub 4, Middle School and the Dog Who Makes You. Normal Burke's world is shrinking. He has been homeschooled, hiding from middle school, where he imagines he'll be the kid in the wheelchair. The town builds a ramp, but Burke refuses. He wants control over how people see him. Cooper becomes more than a service dog. He becomes Burke's shield against pity. Burke sneaks Cooper into school. On the stone steps where kids gather, Burke uses assist to climb and sit among them, like everyone else, while other students carry the wheelchair up. Suddenly, Burke isn't the boy in the chair. He's the boy with the giant dog. Kids pet Cooper, laugh, greet Burke. The attention feels normalizing instead of humiliating. But Principal Hawkins sees disruption and danger. She tries to ban Cooper. Burke escalates the conflict, weaponizing language when cornered. He blurts the rawest wound in his family. His mother left, and he believes she left because he was crippled. The incident spills into legal action. Chase Dad, influenced by Grandma's insight, decides to fight. Their lawyer pushes back. Unless Cooper is genuinely disruptive or dangerous, the school can't exclude him. The judge agrees. Burke wins the right to bring his dog. This victory matters because it teaches Burke a new identity. He can stand up for himself. He can win. Cooper is the anchor of that confidence, quiet, obedient, massive, loving. But victories don't stop the harder fractures in the family, especially the unspoken resentment in Grant. Cooper senses it long before anyone admits it. AudiobookHub 5, Lacey, the Snake, and the Hole in the Heart. Cooper's first devastating loss arrives with the smell of wetlands and a flash of movement, a Massasauga rattlesnake. Lacey, who has wandered back into Cooper's life as a friend's dog, attacks it. The snake strikes her face. Burke screams commands, "Leave it!" Lacey drops the snake too late. Venom spreads fast. Grant races her to the vet, but she dies. Cooper understands death now, not as concept, but as absence. Lacey's scent is there, but what makes her Lacey is gone. The loss rewires the household's grief. Almost immediately after, Grandma's beloved goat Judy dies, adding another layer of mourning. Then animal control arrives due to the earlier corporate conflict, but the officer dismisses the complaint as nonsense. Still, the day leaves a stain. It's clear the world beyond the farm can reach into their lives at any moment. The emotional fallout spreads. Burke refuses to go to school. Grant's anger grows sharper. Burke pranks Grant, but their fights carry deeper bitterness. Grant feels trapped on the farm, burdened by chores and family duty. And he directs that rage at Burke. The conflict reaches a frightening peak when Grant pushes Burke's wheelchair down Dead Man's Hill, and Burke tumbles hard. Burke survives. He even taunts Gotcha. But the moment exposes something terrifying. Grant's resentment can become dangerous. Cooper's role is constant. Comfort Burke, keep the family functioning, hold grief in his fur so humans don't have to carry it alone. But Cooper's world keeps expanding in pain, and soon it expands into something stranger. Lacey returns, in a different body. AudiobookHub 6, The New Lacey and the Puppies. Under the barn after Lacey dies, Cooper senses her again. Faint, familiar, impossible. A skinny, injured blonde stray appears. Cooper knows instantly. It is Lacey, reborn, carrying the same essence in a different shape. She is wary of people, living feral at the edge of the farm, but she keeps coming back to Cooper. Cooper begins leaving food for her, protecting her quietly. Then the truth emerges under the barn in the storm shelter. Lacey has given birth to puppies, and she is hiding them in the darkness. Cooper becomes more than a companion. He becomes provider. He regurgitates food for her like a wild father would. He steals a whole bag of kibble and drags it to the den, risking punishment because instinct demands he feed his family. He also becomes guard. A fox prowls near the shelter. Cooper fights it off, then refuses to sleep inside, choosing to watch the yard through the night. Humans interpret it as he wants a piece of that fox, but Cooper knows the truth. He is defending newborn life. The secret can't stay hidden. Wenling, Burke's close friend and on-and-off girlfriend, discovers the puppies with Burke. They call Ava's rescue. Sam and Ava arrive to take the litter, spay the mother, and later neuter Cooper. Cooper watches helplessly as his puppies are loaded away, and Lacey, now called Lulu, is caged, staring at him with betrayal and confusion. This is the midpoint truth of Cooper's life. Humans can save, but humans also take. Love can be rescue and loss in the same motion. And as soon as the puppies are gone, the human family collapses into its own darker crisis. Grant confesses he loves Wenling, even though she is Burke's girl. AudiobookHub 7, Betrayal, Surgery, and the House Without Joy. Grant's confession detonates everything. Wenling flees. Burke's world, already fragile after surgery hopes, fractures in a new way. Burke undergoes the long-awaited operation that might allow him to walk. The family pins everything on it. But recovery is brutal. Nerve pain, cramps, slow progress. Burke comes home still in his chair, desperate and humiliated by how far he has to go. While Burke battles his body, Grant and Wenling's feelings intensify. Wenling's dreams shift. Pilot training, Air Force Academy, then disqualification, then agricultural science. Grant's restlessness finally finds a target: Wenling. They kiss. They fall into love. Wenling eventually tells Burke the truth. She's in love with Grant. Burke's response isn't just jealousy. It's rage fueled by years of feeling trapped in a chair, trapped on a farm, trapped in a narrative where everyone pities him. He calls it betrayal by blood. He lashes out and tells Wenling to leave. Then Grant comes home and Burke attacks him physically, punching until their father tears them apart. The family becomes silent, split into rooms and factions. Amid this, Burke refuses Cooper's help. Cooper, a working dog, loses his job. Without purpose, he becomes restless, behaving strangely, chewing boots, acting out. Hank, the physical therapist, gives the diagnosis that matters. Dogs need purpose like people do. Burke finally gives Cooper work again, retrieving, then assisting him as he practices standing and walking. But even as Burke rises physically, the family's emotional structure collapses. Grant and Wenling become engaged, then break, then re-engage, pulled by culture, control, and fear. And the real lowest point hits not from romance, but from death. Grandma Rachel collapses during a family fight and dies. Her absence destroys the last stabilizing force. Grant leaves the farm again, declaring it a prison. The family is reduced to Chase Dad, Burke, and a dog holding grief in his body. AudiobookHub 8. The Last Life, The Poisoned Meat. The reunion time shifts. Cooper dies of bloat in one life and returns again as Bailey, then Riley, then Oscar, still orbiting the same people. He keeps finding Ava. He keeps finding the Trevino farm. He keeps finding Lacey, reborn again and again. Each return pulls him toward the true promise: mend what's broken. Grant returns to the farm as an adult, finally reconciling with Chase Dad and Burke in fragile steps. Ava, now a lawyer for animal rescue, becomes Grant's girlfriend, then later Burke's. Bailey, as Riley, also finds Lacey again during a dogfighting bust. She becomes Lady Dog, then is adopted by Ava. The world turns hostile. Online mobs call for the killer pit bull to be euthanized. A man throws poisoned meat into Ava's yard to kill Lady. Bailey eats it to protect her and dies again, sacrificing his life to keep his dogmate safe. He comes back once more, this time as Oscar, and the pieces converge. Burke adopts Oscar from Ava's rescue. Oscar immediately shows knowledge no puppy should have. Assist, pull, directional commands. Proof of the old soul. Burke realizes Oscar is Cooper returned, and the dog's memory begins to awaken in him, the way Ethan promised. recognition without logic. Meanwhile, Wenling and Grant finally return to each other in a healthier form. Chase Dad and Lee Min, bonded through grief for Zizi, become partners. The farm becomes a shared home again, but the final test arrives as a storm. A tornado destroys the barn, traps everyone in the storm shelter, and floods it. As water rises, the family faces the possibility of dying together. In that claustrophobic, terrified space, they speak the truths they've avoided, about their mother, about grudges, about love, about forgiveness. Burke proposes to Ava. Grant confesses he sought out his mother and learned the truth. She didn't leave because of Burke's disability. She left because she hated the life. The brothers finally uncoil their resentment into honesty. They survive because Lacey, now Janji in a dog cart, barks and alerts rescuers. Sam and Marla arrive and open the shelter. Everyone emerges to see the farm destroyed, but the family intact. They rebuild together, and in the epilogue, Oscar recognizes the baby named Chase, Ethan reborn, triggering Bailey's full memory, all his lives, all his purposes, and the promise fulfilled. Love carried them through. The dog kept the family together long enough for forgiveness to finally stick. AudiobookHub 9, The Promise Kept. The resolution lands quietly but powerfully. The farm is rebuilt, the family structure rebuilt with it. Wenling and Grant marry. Chase Dad and Lee Min marry. Ava and Burke marry. Lacey Janji remains at Oscar's side, and Oscar helps guide her in her cart the way he once guided Burke in a wheelchair. Proof that purpose can be shared, not lost, and then the final spiritual payoff arrives. As Oscar sniffs the baby Chase Trevino, something clicks. A familiar soul, the one Bailey loved first, Ethan. The recognition unlocks everything Ethan promised in the golden place. Bailey remembers every life, every name, every person he saved. The promise wasn't one action, it was a long chain of devotion designed to keep love alive long enough for the next generation to be born into safety, family, and hope. Bailey's purpose becomes clear in hindsight. He was never just living lives, he was keeping people connected, bringing them back from grief, from anger, from isolation. He was making sure they didn't abandon each other the way pain always tempts humans to do. In the end, the promise is simple and enormous. Love doesn't stop. It just finds its way back.